Hi, welcome to the Power of Care Spotlight. I'm Larry Moliterno with Meridian Community Care. And we're here today with Vince Brancaccio from Meridian, and we're going to talk a little bit about process improvement. And I know one of the things that we've been involved with for a number of years now is an organization called Niatex out of Wisconsin.
Correct.
Which is really all about how do we continue to get better. It's almost like a customer service model, isn't it?
Yes, yes. What we do, from a programmatic perspective is we're constantly looking at how to improve our processes. And the way we do that is, one, we want to look at our wait times. We want to reduce wait times between that first appointment and that phone call. So when somebody calls, we want to get them in as quickly as possible. So we're looking at that aspect of process improvement. The other thing we want to look at is continuation rates. We want to make sure that once we get people into treatment, that they stay in treatment. Those that tend to fail real early on in treatment, we want to address that and make sure we're able to continue to engage them and keep them in treatment. The other thing we want to do is increase admissions. We know that once we engage those individuals, it's important that we keep those individuals, after that first session.
I think it's been interesting because in order for us to move forward and to, in the future, when you start getting into manage Medicaid and the changes in healthcare and everything else, it's really going to be more and more critical for us to be able to show some really good outcomes for the work that we do. And I think what this whole concept does is allow us to continue to improve and to continue to document the successes that we're having. And one of the things that I really liked that we did early on in this process was these walkthroughs.
Correct.
And maybe you can give us a sense of how Meridian did that and really what that walkthrough did for us.
And that's a key principle of process improvement. It is walkthroughs. And what we've done here at Meridian is we've actually taken an individual who was not involved with a particular program and had them, say, for example, walk through that program. I'll give you an example of the assessment department. We've taken a student and or somebody outside the organization and had them go through the process of being evaluated, making that first phone call, coming into the agency, going through an evaluation, and getting a sense of what it's like to be that client.
And almost, we used to call that secret shoppers, back in the retail days. But really, what we're talking about is, and when we did it here at Meridian, we didn't hide anything. We didn't say, hey, it's a secret person. We told all the staff, hey, this is what we're going to do, and just treat everybody, like you normally would. And I think that's because we're trying to create a culture of trust where the staff knows, look, we're not here because we want to point fingers and find fault.
Right.
What we're doing is because we want to work together to get better. And I think what's interesting also about some of the things that you mentioned, it's not enough just to understand, well, what's the length of time between the phone call and the first visit and how are we retaining clients. It's how do we take this information and learn from it so that we can put a strategy in place to improve those numbers.
And that's exactly what happens. After we do the walkthrough, we then put a committee together and we sit down and we talk about the walkthrough and we talk about that person's experience. And I think what's important that you said is you don't do a secret shopper. It's not to shame the staff or say you did something wrong. It's more about how to improve maybe that interaction. And that's what creates the staff buy-in. When the staff feel like they're part of the process, and when they're sitting there at the table with the CEO or the various people on that committee and they're giving input, that's what's important about the walkthrough and the whole process improvement initiative.
And I think if we look at the people that we serve and the clients that we serve, they truly are customers, along with a lot of other customers that we have. But we have to look at customer service as a real part of what we do every day if we're going to be successful. So I want to thank you for coming out and talking with us a little bit more about that. And until next time, this is Larry Moliterno with the Power of Care Spotlight.